Alright, moving on to black. We'll probably finish, once we've finished black, I'll probably take a break, run to the bathroom, maybe grab myself another drink so I can keep going. I think the second stack of cards is probably bigger than the first stack, which is a bit unusual, but we'll see. We'll go through. We'll see what there is. Ahriman is a 3-mana 2/2 flying death touch. You can sacrifice another creature or artifact, draw a card. Sure. He's fine. He's flying death toucher. He's annoying to block, and he can kill things in the air. That's good. The 3-mana sacrifice to draw a card. If you've got treasures or anything like that that you don't really need, you can just eat them with this. If you're this instant speed as well, so if your opponent's killing something, eat it, draw a card. This is fine. It's pretty good. Albed Savages. Okay. 3 mana, 2/3. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, you drain. Yep, this seems about right. It looks like black is going to be trying to vamp, sacrifice things and vamp stuff. Sounds like a very black thing to do. Arden the Usurper is a 8 mana 4/4 with demons you control have menace, lifelink, and haste. Okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, exile up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard. If you exile a card this way, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 5/5 black demon, which has menace, lifelink, and haste. I mean, this will win you a game. Oh, you were only an eye horror. You weren't a demon. I thought this was going to be a demon. I'm sad. I mean, this'll win you a game, right? He is only a 4/4 by himself, which makes him a bit flimsy. But reanimate anything in my graveyard as a 5/5 menace, lifelink, haster is pretty good. That's pretty good and limited. You just fucking reanimate whatever you want and then just start beating ass with it, because they come in with haste. You can just attack with them immediately. Pretty good. Yeah, I think this guy is your a definite game winner. Black Mage's Rod, 2 mana to make a to make a 2/1. Sorry, a quick creature is +1/+0, so it's a 2 mana 2/1. And has whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. So this is half a Gutter Snipe. I mean, I don't know how good Gutter Snipe is in Limited when it was printed, but I know Gutter Snipe is good now, and Black Gutter Snipe sounds scary, even if it's only half as good. Okay. Cecil Dark Knight is a 1 mana 2/3 with Death Touch, and whenever he deals damage, you lose that much life. Then if your life total is less than or equal to half your starting life total, untap and transform him. So he needs to attack 5 times to trigger this himself. But then he becomes Cecil Redeemed Paladin, which is a 4/4 lifelinker, and whenever he attacks, other attacking creatures gain indestructible until end. I mean, this guy does come down turn 1, which is good, and is also a pain in the ass to block because he has Death Touch. He's probably bigger than everything pre-turn 3. But I don't know if your opponent lets you get Cecil without you hurting yourself. And currently, we've only seen ways that you gain life. This gains you life. These have lifelink. I mean, you're not getting Anduin out, but you know what I mean. This deals damage to each opponent, doesn't deal damage to you. So the only way you're losing life is if your opponent attacks you Which, if your opponent puts you down below half life, they have a way to deal with Cecil, right? I mean, I still think you take him. He's a 1-mana 2/3 with Death Touch. Even if he only gets like 2 or 3 free shots in, puts your opponent and you down to like 16 or 14, and then you just sit on him as a blocker. That's not bad. Black does look like it's got some ways to vamp. It's a good way to get some early damage in. I'm just not sure how often you get Cecil off. And if you do get Cecil off, I think your opponent has a way to deal with it, because I don't think they'd put you to the point where you'd flip into Cecil without having a way to deal with Cecil, right? Because it's very obvious what's coming unless you damage yourself. Circle of Power. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. Yeah, that sounds about right. Create a 0/1 black... Oh, create a half Gutter Snipe again. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell... Yeah, half a Gutter Snipe. Wizards you control get +1/+1 gain a lifelink. So, because it's the token dealing damage, and the token is a wizard, you would heal from the 1 damage it does, right? Because these are wizards as well. Yeah, these are wizards. This is a wizard. So when you cast non-creature spells with Circle of Power... Oh, it's only until end of turn. That sucks ass. I mean, this is a way to lose some extra life for Cecil, but this is a very standard draw 2, lose 2 black card. You just also get a wizard that damages your opponent, and maybe you get to drain your opponent and heal, I guess. But also, the wizards are whenever you cast, right? So you cast this, and even if you have other wizards already out, they deal their damage, then this goes off, and all your wizards gain lifelink. But at that point, they've already done their damage, so... Unless you've got other spells you can vomit afterwards, which maybe you can, but... Cornered by Black Mages. Okay. 3 mana. Target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice, which, unless they have 1 creature, essentially makes this card bad. And you create half a Gutter Snipe. I mean, if you stack up these half a Gutter Snipes, you could literally win by just having removal like this, right? Like, these half Gutter Snipes are starting to stack up, right? Because you've got 1 from Black Mage's Rod, which is a common, so you can get probably 2 of those. 2 or 3. 1 from Circle of Power, which is an uncommon, so you maybe have 1 of those. 1 from this Cornered by Black Mages, which is uncommon, so you can maybe have 2 or 3 of these. That's a lot of these wizard tokens. Like, if you don't have to block, you're just going to be like flinging down, like killing your opponent with a million half of Gutter Snipes. Dark Confidence. Oh, Dark Confidence getting a reprint. Cool, it's a reprint. Yeah. 2 mana, 2/1. At the beginning of the upkeep, reveal the top card of your library, put it into your hand, lose life. We've seen this card. This exists. It is usually good. I don't know about in limited, but it's usually good. Dark Knight's Greatsword. They're called Dark Knights, not Black Knight. Dark Knight. This is the tank I was playing my most recent time playing Final Fantasy XIV. It is a cool job. 3 mana to make a 4/1 knight, and you pay 3 life. So you don't. That's actually pretty good, right? Because then you don't have to pay mana. You just pay life. I guess depending on how much you can heal yourself and other things. Again, I don't hate these cards because they come with a dude. And I guess this one could be good because you can use your mana for other things and then just equip this anyway. This is probably pretty good. It's difficult for me to know because, again, I'm not much of an equipment enjoyer. But, sure. The Dark Crystal. Okay. Black spells cost 1 less. Sure. If a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile it and you gain 2. That's good, actually. And for 6, put target creature card exiled with Dark Crystal onto the battlefield tapped under your control with 2 additional +1/+1 counters. This is pretty... Is this really good in Limited? How much removal have we seen so far? 1, and it's not targeted? Yes, 1 and it's not targeted. Okay. Assuming there is more targeted removal, this is very good. Or like another board wipe. I guess the whiteboard wipe is fine with this because you just blow everything up and then end your turn, but like... I think this crystal's pretty good. This is certainly better than the blue crystal. Because, like, this is something your opponent has to deal with, because if you kill one of their creatures, you can just reanimate it, which is a problem. So yeah, I think this is pretty good. Demon Wall is a 2-mana 3/3 defender with menace. As long as this creature has a counter on it, it can attack attackers that didn't have defender. Oh, and then for 6, you can put counters on it. I mean, this is just a good blocker, right? 2-mana 3/3 with defender. Stop hitting me, please. This is a fine defender, I think. For black. Like, black and blue having something like this that you can just play and just get in the way of things, I quite like. So I think this is pretty good. Evil Reawakened. 5 mana, return a creature card from the graveyard. Stop letting black just reanimate whatever the fuck it wants. Sure. This is about retail for reanimating things, but they get +1/+1 counters. Cool. Sure. If they have, like, oh, discard a card, and there's also, like, in black, if they have this, a way to discard, and then, or a way to mill yourself, and, because this seems fine until you use it every single game to just reanimate this guy, right? You just discard this, turn 5, reanimate him with Evil Reawakened. Like, I don't know. I'd prefer people pay retail and cast cards from their hand than just keep bringing shit back from the graveyard. But like, I don't actively dislike graveyard shenanigans. I think it's just too prominent currently in the meta of me just being like, oh look, you discarded a Valgavoth. I wonder what I reanimate. Cool. And you could just see it coming a mile off. It's just a pain in the ass because you know if you don't have the counter spell, you've got nothing you can do about it. And it's just. But yeah, sure, reanimate. Bang, Fearless, whatever, is a 3-mana 2/3. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, you draw a card and you lose 1 life, only once each turn. And she melds with someone. It would appear she melds with a green creature. I don't even remember how you meld. I can't even remember how this works. But they meld into... It is Ragnarok, right? 7/6. Yeah, they meld into Ragnarok Divine Deliverance, which is a 7/6 Vigilance, Menace, Trample, Reach, Haste. When it dies, destroy target permanent and return target non-legendary permanent from your graveyard to the battlefield. I mean, I don't remember if Meld was any good when it was printed the first time round. I think it's too many hoops to jump through, but sure. We'll have to go see. What do we need? Vanille, cheerful. Oh, if we see ICIE, that's the other lady that it melds with. Sure. Fight on. 3 mana, return 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. This is fine. Final Days. 4 mana, create 2 tapped 2/2 black horror creature token. Oh, this is the Final Days in 14. Yeah, create 2 tapped 2/2 black horror creature tokens. If it was cast from the graveyard, create X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. Flashback for 6. Okay, pretty good. I don't mind this at all. Yeah, this is a dungeon. in oh god, what expansion is it? Endwalker. Endwalker. This is a dungeon in, right? Oh no, it's the one before Endwalker, because Endwalker is the final days, right? And then it's the one before that. I don't remember, but it was a very cool dungeon with these things in it. Yeah, these are very cool. I think it is in Endwalker as well, but Gaius, how you doing? Man, you got demoted to a fucking uncommon, bro. I apologize. 4 mana for a 3/2. When he enters, choose one. Each player sacrifices a creature token. Each player sacrifices a non-token creature. Each player sacrifices an enchantment. Yeah, this is probably pretty good. This is one more expensive than the Plague Crafter. 3 mana. When this enters, each player sacrifices a creature. This kind of effect is good for black, usually. So, yeah. Sure. Hecked Eyes is a 2 mana 1/1. When it enters, each opponent discards a card. Yeah, this is pretty good as well. Just make your opponent slightly upset by making them discard things, and then you can sack this later or just block with it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay. Jekt Reluctant Guardian is a 4 mana 4/3 menace, and whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can exile it and return it to the battlefield as Brask's Final Aeon, which is a 7/7 menace, which first each opponent discards a card and you draw a card, then each opponent discards a card, you draw a card and you get to attack with him, and then each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice, and this goes away, so you don't get to attack with it twice. I think this is pretty good though, right? If you can actually deal the combat damage with this guy, this is 4 damage, transforms, draw a card, your opponent discard, draw a card, your opponent discard, hit for 7, so that's 11 damage. And then each opponent sacrifices 2 creatures. Sure. Sure, I'll take that in limited. That's pretty good. Pain Traitorous Dragoon. Okay. Is a 3 mana 2/4, and during your turn he has flying, because Dragoons can do that shit. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player gains control of him. If they do, you draw that many cards, create that many tap treasure tokens, then lose that much life. What? Sure. I don't think this is very good, but okay. Yeah, I don't know. Marlborough. I think that's what they're called. They're like the weird big mouth tentacle monsters. 6 mana for a 4/4. When it enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 cards of their library. It has Swamp Cycling. Because it has Swamp Cycling, you probably have at least 1 or 2. Namazu Trader. Okay. Is 4 mana for a 3/4. When this creature enters, you lose 1 life and create a treasure token. Cool. Whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, surveil 2. Very fine card. Nothing particularly exciting. Just fine. Ninja's Blades. Hey, Ninja! This is what I was playing in the most recent Final Fantasy XIV expansion. The, what's it? Dawn Trail? I leveled a ninja just before, like, literally, I was leveling a ninja, and I managed to get to the end of the gate of the story leading up to Dawn Trail about 3 days before Dawn Trail dropped, and then we did all of Dawn Trail with that ninja as well. Ninja's Blade. It's 3 mana, job select, so it makes the dude. So it's a 3 mana, it makes a 2/2 that is a ninja, and has whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, then discard a card. That player loses like equal to discard a card's mana value. I have the same problem with this as I do with the knife, the blue knife we saw, all the way back in blue. This. Turn 3, making a 2/2 is just not good enough. This isn't making a 2/2 with any particular, like, it doesn't have menace, it doesn't have anything else. It's just a 2/2. So this is 3 mana, make a 2/2, and if by some miracle it gets through and deals combat damage to a player, I get benefit. It's a 2/2 on turn 3, or 4 if your opponent went first, because they're going to have turn 4 before you get to attack with this. It's just not happening. Like, I just don't think this is realistically getting in most of the time. This does have a cheaper equip cost, so maybe you put it on something else, but like, eh. What? Overkill, 3 mana instant. Target creature gets -0, -9,999 until end of turn. So destroy target creature then. I mean, this kills anything through indestructible, which maybe that's why the indestructible's slightly less. Hey, Waka. So this is FF10 then. That's Tidus and Waka. I remember Waka. He throws the ball. -9,999. That's so ridiculous. Sure. Phantom Train. A vehicle? Wait, what? So this doesn't have a crew. Okay, it's a 4 mana 4/4 with trample. Sacrifice another artifact creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on this vehicle. It becomes a spirit artifact creature until end of turn, in addition to its other types. Okay. So, without something to sacrifice, this is nothing. If you can sacrifice stuff to it, it's a steadily growing trample threat. Again, I'm not a big fan of vehicles, but this one at least doesn't need to be crewed. You can just sacrifice things to it, and you can sacrifice artifacts to it, so you can sacrifice like treasure tokens and stuff like that. Sure, maybe this is good. I don't think it is, but fine. Poison the Waters. 2 mana. All creatures get -1/-1. Target reveals their hand, choose an artifact or creature card, they discard it. This is probably okay. The -1/-1 probably hits like a couple of things, and revealing their hand and choosing an artifact is probably something else you can just do if they don't have anything. Like, I don't usually like taking just discard stuff from your hand things, because I feel like they don't do enough usually. But this does also have affects the board stuff, so I am not trying to say that name, but this thing is a 3 mana 3/2. When this creature enters, destroy target creature that was dealt damage or exile 2 cards from a graveyard. Yeah, this comes up. The destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn usually isn't that useful, because when you attack with a creature that's very, very obviously going to die, people will usually not block it with the creature you want to kill, because they know that the only reason they know that these cards exist. Reno and Rude is a it's a 2 mana 2/1 with Menace. Whenever Reno and Rude deal combat damage to a player, exile top card of the player's library, then you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, you may play the exile card this turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast it. I mean, this having Menace means it probably goes through at least once, but I don't know if you necessarily have the ability to play the card you exile with it, and you can only do it by sacrificing the thing at the time. So, I mean, I'd probably use this, but I don't know if it would actually be that good. But this probably gets at least one good shot in, and then you get a chance to play something off the top of your opponent's library if you have something to sacrifice, which you might not do, but oh well. Resentful Revelation. 2 mana, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Sure, I guess. I don't. It's technically gets you a card. I don't know. I never really care for cards like this. It does have flashbacks, so sure, but Sephiroth. Hey, buddy. Sephiroth, Fabled Soldier, is a 3 mana 3/3. Whenever Sephiroth enters or attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card. Whenever another creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. If this is the 4th time this ability is resolved this turn, transform Sephiroth. That's a lot of work to transform this. What does it become? Sephiroth, 1-winged angel, 5/5 flyer. As this creature transforms into Sephiroth, 1-winged angel, you get an emblem with whenever a creature dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. When Sephiroth attacks, you may sacrifice any number of other creatures. If you do, draw that many cards. I think in Limited, this isn't very good. First of all, I don't think you can trigger the ability 4 times in 1 turn. And secondly, I don't know if you can pump out enough creatures for this to be any good. I mean, it's a 5/5 flyer. So, maybe? But, like, you have to sacrifice a lot of things for this to trigger. Or your opponent has to block to let it trigger. Which, if your opponent is letting this trigger, they have some way of dealing with the flip side, right? It's not indestructible. It can still be targeted. It's not hexproof or anything. So they can probably just let you sacrifice things and then blow this up. Or just blow up Sephiroth. Because he doesn't have any protection either. I don't really know about this one. I don't think it's very good in Limited. It's probably crazy in certain other things, but I think in Limited, I don't think you can pump out enough to make this really good. Sephiroth's Intervention. 4 mana, destroy a creature, gain 2 life. Sure. A bit expensive, but at least it's instant speed, so sure. Gambling this thing is 3 mana. It's a 3 mana 3/3, enters tapped, and whenever you cast an on-creature spell, you may pay 1. If you do, return this card from your graveyard to your hand. Sure, this is fine, I guess. It's a 3 mana 3/3 and it comes in tapped, but you can keep bringing it back, I guess. So maybe it's good. Shinra Reinforcements is a 3 mana 2/3. When it enters, mill 3 cards, gain 3 life. Yeah, sure. It's just very generic. Probably play one of these or something, it's fine. Side quest, Hunt the Mark. 5 mana, when it enters, destroy 1 target creature. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died under an opponent's control this turn, create a treasure token. If you control 3 or more, transform this into Yizmart Ultimate Mark, which is a 5/6, sacrifice another creature or artifact, it gains indestructible until end of turn, tap it. I think this is good. So, it's expensive, but it is removal. It does generate you a useful resource in treasures, and it becomes something that is actually a threat. I like this side quest, specifically because it is removal, and does something when it enters. So, you know, sure. This is much more like what I want. Summon Anima. Oh, this is the boss guy in the dungeon. You go on the train first, right? Oh no, is it that? It's the Tower of Babel or something, right? This is from 14, whatever. Anima. So 6 mana for a 4/4 with Menace. When he comes in, draw a card and lose a life. Then draw a card, lose a life, deal 4 damage. Draw a card, lose a life, deal 4 damage. Then each opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice and loses 3 life. So this does 11 damage. And you draw 3 cards. At best. Okay. I don't hate this. It's not the best saga we've seen. But it's fine. I think maybe I'm undervaluing the draw on this thing because that could be really good, but it's 6 mana. 6 mana to draw 3 cards over 3 turns is really slow. Summon Primal Odin, another 6 mana again. This time for a 5/3 with no text. Sure. 1 mana, when it comes in, destroy target creature an opponent controls. Good, it is removal. Then this creature gains, whenever this creature does combat damage to a player, that player loses the game. So this is probably 2 pieces of removal, right? Because you destroy your opponent's biggest thing, then this has to be blocked or else your opponent loses the game, which means it probably kills something. And then draw 2 cards and each opponent loses 2 life. Oh, each player, not opponent, so you do as well. For 6 mana, 2 pieces of removal and draw 2 cards and do a little bit of damage, then there is a chance this wins you the game. Yeah. You know what? I think this is pretty good. I'd play this. Ugh. Yeah, I don't hate this at all. Ugh. Mostly just because it is removal, right? Like, the first one is removal. The second one, it has to be blocked, so your opponent has to put something underneath it, or else they lose the game. So either it kills something, assuming they don't have anything big enough to block this, which, again, we're assuming because you got to destroy something, so if there was something big enough to block this, you blew it up. And then they have to block this, so the second option is either your opponent loses another creature, or you win the game. And then the third option is the third thing is this dies, draw cards. And everybody loses a little bit of life. But yeah, I think this is good. Tonberry, a 1 mana 2/1 that enters with a stun counter on it. So it doesn't untap until turn 3. And then it has First Strike and Death Touch. I mean, First Strike and Death Touch, which means nothing is blocking this, right? But it's only during your turn, so it's not a great blocker. Sure. I'd probably still take 1. But Under City Diarat is a 2 mana 2/2. When it dies, create a treasure token. Cool, yeah, sweet. Vane's Treachery. 2 mana kicker, sacrifice something. Target creature gets -2/-2. If it was kicked, it's -6/-6. Sure. Decent removal. I think you take it, even if you're just using it for the -2/-2. There are ways to make treasures and stuff like that, so this is not necessarily you have to sacrifice a creature. Even if you do, it's probably worth it. Oh. Sorry. Vincent Valentine is a 4 mana 2/2. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a number of +1/+1 counters on Vincent equal to that creature's power. Whenever he attacks, you may transform him. And he becomes a 3/2 trample lifelinker. And when he dies, he comes back to the battlefield as Vincent. Okay. So this is interesting, because you want to keep it on Vincent for as long as possible, right? Because this side gets bigger. But at any time, you can just flip it into this. And then your opponent has to kill this side. And if they do, he just comes back. But because they kill him, the counters come off. The counters would stay between the transformation, right? So if this has 5 counters on it, this would be an 8/7 trample lifelinker that they have to kill. And when they kill it, it would just come back as a 2/2 for this guy again. Yeah? Yeah, okay. So essentially, you want to get like a couple of counters and then immediately flip it, because then he can't. Then he has to be exile removaled, which is harder to do. So, and then if he just dies normally, he just comes back as this. So essentially, you're trying to only have him in Valentine long enough that you can get this guy bigger, the Garlean Beast big enough that it can attack through anything, because if they catch it on this side, they just kill this side, and then he's gone forever. So you want it on this side as much as possible, but you want it to be big enough to always be able to attack through things. So that's the interesting part. But I like that. I think that's very cool. And also, this is definitely a game winner. Vincent's Limit Break. 2 mana, and then you get to choose some extra things. Until end of turn, target creature you control gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control and has the chosen base power and toughness. For 2 mana, it's a 3/2. For 3 mana, it's a 5/2. And for 5 mana, it's a 7/2. And when it would die, you return it to the battlefield. Okay. Sure. That's kind of cool. Xenos! My best friend! How you doing, bro? Xenos is a 5 mana 4/4, and when he enters, choose a creature an opponent controls until the end of turn. Creatures other than Xenos and the creature get -2/-2. He's like a board wipe, apart from one person that he chooses as his friend. Like it. When the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, transform Xenos. Here he becomes Shinryu, the dragon, which is an 8/8 flyer. As this creature transforms, choose an opponent. When the chosen player loses the game, you win the game. So, in Limited, this doesn't matter. Right? Like, it doesn't do anything. Because where you can only choose your opponent, and because it's 1v1, and when they lose the game, you win the game automatically. This in Commander is rude, which is hilarious. But I think a 5 mana 4/4 that semi-board wipes, and then that becomes, if you kill the creature, an 8/8 flyer is just going to be good enough in Limited, right? Right, it just is. Because you play this, you choose your opponent's weakest thing, everything else gets weaker, you swing with this, and they cannot block. But like, everything on their side is either weak, or they have to choose to block with the guy that you chose this with, and if that thing... And again, because you're in black, you can have removal. You could remove the creature you target with this, and then just get the Shinryu transformation. You could also do it at instant speed, right? So if this, say you've got more than 5 mana. Say you've got 7 mana. You play this. You target a 1/1 or a 2/2. Everything else gets weaker. You attack with Xenos. Your opponent puts his entire board, apart from the chosen creature, in front of Xenos and says, haha, I'm going to kill Xenos. Then you -2/-2, the 2/2. Because the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, Xenos immediately flips into Shinryu and just batters the entire field out of existence. Seems good. I like Xenos. My best friend. Zodiac. Oh, hey Zodiac, how you doing? You are fucking Pentaskull, sure. So, for 5 black, so you have to play seriously Commitment to Black. He's a 5/5 indestructible. When he enters, each player sacrifices half the non-god creatures they control of their choice rounded down. And whenever a player sacrifices another creature, put a +1/+1 counter on Zodiac. Okay, so, alright, the Commitment to Black here is huge, and I don't know if you ever actually play him. Because I feel like in most drafts, you're going to be playing 2 color, right? You're going to want to play 2 color. This guy, you have to have 5 black mana before you play this. or ways to generate 5 black. I mean, there are treasures and stuff you can generate, so maybe this isn't unrealistic, but this is pretty good, right? This is like, play a 5/5 indestructible, half of our boards are wiped, Zodiac gets fucking yoked, and you have to exile him because indestructible... Well, maybe not, because he does still fall over to... what the fuck is it? Overkill. He does still die to overkill. But... yeah. You could definitely, like... I mean, if I saw Zodiac, I'd pick him. And I think if he was my first card, I think I'd have to seriously consider it for a couple of seconds. But I think if I was already in black, I don't think it's that difficult to get to 5 black sources. Because if you're in 2 colors, you could probably have like 2 or 3, and then maybe you need like 1 or 2 treasures. And if you have 1 or 2 treasures going and 3 mana, you just play this guy and he's huge. Like, I think this is playable. I think this is a good card. The indestructible and becoming absolutely massive is hilarious. Because, like, he can still be blocked by 1/1s, but he's also he can block things. Yeah, this is pretty good. I think this is good in limited. Stats matter in limited a lot more than anywhere else, and indestructibility specifically is a real problem as well. Because, like, Vane's Treachery probably doesn't kill him, because -6/-6 probably isn't enough if he starts as a 5/5, unless they do it in response to him entering. Which they can do. But if they don't, then he's probably too big. Odin doesn't work because it's destroy. Anima, anything that makes people sacrifice. I guess if he's your only creature, Anima can make you sacrifice him. This doesn't work. That doesn't work. It's like overkill and that's it, because we haven't seen a massive amount of exile. I guess this guy makes you sacrifice 2 creatures, which could be even worse, but... Or Gaius can make you sacrifice him. But apart from sacrifice and overkill, there isn't really anything that just removes Zodiac, right? So, yeah. And also, that's the last card, right? We're back round to Bahamut. So let's do that.